Hey guys, welcome to this week's video. We're going to be installing a light bar on the roof rack of my Tacoma. Now if you look up there, it's already installed, quote unquote. What I did was I just got the brackets on there because it was a whole kind of process to get those brackets on that roof rack. So I left that part out. I'll go over the brackets I used and they're going to be in the description. But let's go ahead and hop into how I wired this up and how I got this installed in my Tacoma. Alright guys, I'm working on a little project here. You know, we're always doing something here on the channel, and so today I'm going to be installing a last fit light bar on the roof rack of my truck. So I got here the wiring harness that they sent me. I got a cool little button here, check that out. So we're going to figure out what we're doing because I exactly don't know what I'm doing exactly, so we're going to be learning as we go. But come around here, I do already have it bolted up. That's for another project. We've been working on stuff, but ignore that for now. Come up here and we do have the light bar installed. It was a pain in the ass to get a mount for this roof rack here, but I did finally get it installed the other day, last night, and I'm going to be doing the wiring here. I got to figure out how I'm going to hide this because this is ugly. It almost is not long enough, so we're going to have to figure out that. So a lot of learning is going to be done in this video, so bear with me here, but I did want to, you know, record this and kind of take you along the process. So my next step here, I'm gonna loosen up the battery terminal so I can hook up power. You see I already have the ditch lights hooked up. They've been hooked up, but yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. So this is not a permanent solution for now. I just want to test to make sure everything is gonna work how I think. So got the power hooked up there, running the ground to there. So, and then I did just plug in the light bar. You know, obviously this can't be permanent. I'm gonna go ahead and flick this on and see, you know, if it even turns on. It does in fact turn on. So that's a win-win. Now I'm gonna figure out how I want to hide these wires and make it look good. The first order of business is going to be to figure out where to hide this main wire. It is pretty thick. Now I thought about cutting the plastic sleeve off and, you know, having a less thick wire to deal with. But I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna try to shove it on the inside of this with this little plastic tool and seeing how close I can get that to looking good. I guess I should show you guys the mounting solution I came up for with this light bar here. So if you look on the inside, there is, I can't really show you guys that, but I'll try to. See that T-channel right there? So I got these mounts off Amazon right here, but the bolts holes did not line up, so I had to drill them out. And whatever this metal is made out of for the mount I got on Amazon is the strongest metal in the world, because I broke a drill bit. It was just about 2 hours of trying to drill that. Now I don't have the proper tools to be doing, you know, metal work, but you know, it took longer than I expected. I am pretty impressed with how easily that just tucked into this little weather stripping right here. Now I pressed it in with that little plastic tool I have, and it seems to be holding pretty well. I don't know how long it'll hold. I'm hoping it just kind of stays there, but I'm gonna go over it one more time and press it in there. But I'm pretty happy with how that's looking so far. You know, this is kind of like a test run. I don't really know exactly what I'm doing, but hoping this works out. I'm just gonna put it out there. If you guys don't own a set of these little plastic nylon tools, man, it's a 10 out of 10 purchase. You know, I could just take these little plastic clips out. I don't have to worry about breaking them anymore. It's really nice. Alrighty, so I'm trying to show you guys this. So see here, I ran it underneath this little plastic cover, and then I plugged it in right in here. Super hard to show you guys, but right in here I plugged it in. Can you see that? I don't know. We'll check in editing if you can even see that. But I plugged it in right there underneath this little thing. I'm curious to see if it's going to be in a way when I close this. If not, I think that's the play. And then I did just remove that little clip there to run the wires a little bit better. Sorry, the sun's super harsh right now. I went ahead and found this random bolt that came with the hardware for the light bar, because I got like 4 different mounting options with that light bar. But if you look down here, it actually will go right in there and thread in. So I'm going to use that to bolt up this relay so it's not just in there bouncing around. We are now at the stage of trying to make this mess look nice. So this is all the extra wiring for the power. Went ahead, bundled it up, zip tied it. I'm gonna see where I can hide this That's a lot. I did go ahead and get the relays bolted up here. There's 2 of them. The ones for the ditch lights, I just never bolted up. I figured since I'm here, I might as well do it right. So now I gotta figure out where to hide this. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's not a pretty solution. I kind of just have them bundled up and zip tied right there. I'm gonna have to revisit that at a later date because that just looks disgusting. Maybe get a, I don't know, something. I'm gonna have to figure something out because that looks gross. Now I'm gonna go ahead and try to fish. This is for the button, the power. I'm gonna go ahead and try to fish this through the firewall here. If you look down here, I don't know if I can show you. Right there is where I went in last time for the ditch light. So I'm gonna try to go through there again. I don't think I'll have to fish it through, but if I do, I'm gonna go get a clothesline or a clothes hanger, straighten it out and push this through. And hopefully that works. I don't know. I might have to cut this, kind of big. The button is now on the inside. Check that out. Went down through here. See if I can show you guys without totally blocking the view. But I can't really show you guys, can I? Right up in there. I came through that boot, you can see. But ran down through, came out this way. Now I'm going to be placing this empty button with that one we got and wiring up the most professional way I know how, with some electrical tape. And yeah, I'm sure the comments are gonna be not really liking my electronic wiring skills here, but we'll be all right. Guys, this is quickly becoming more in-depth than I would have imagined. So basically, I'm trying to install that button we showed. I'm gonna put it right here, right? So you would think, you know, it'd be a simple way to get to that. Well, from what I've just read, that you got to remove everything, and I don't want to do that. So here's what I'm thinking, right? I'm gonna remove right here the radio, right, and I'm gonna fish the wires. I'm gonna hook up the wires, you know, down here. I'm gonna do everything backwards. I don't. This is getting a mess. I don't even know what I'm doing, but you know, I hope this is somewhat interesting to watch, and you know, we can learn together. I'm just gonna go ahead and start ripping stuff apart to get to that little guy down there. Post step 1. Now I'm not really trying to show you guys how to do this because I'm kind of learning as I do it, but you take this off. This is the bezel around the radio, and there's no bolts or anything. You just kind of yank it. I grabbed from the top and gave it a little tug. It's very uncomfortable because you don't want to break these clips. It did come out pretty easily, but yeah. Next up is going to be remove these 10 mil bolts here. So we're going to do that. You never realize how dirty your truck is until you have a camera on it. Should probably clean this at some point. Look at that scratch I got on my hood. Look at that. I hate the paint on this truck. With those 4 bolts removed, you can pull the head unit out. I'm going to try my best not to unplug anything because I don't want to remember where it goes in. Shouldn't be too hard, but I don't want to do that today. So my idea is I'm just going to fish some wires up through here, or, you know, I don't know. It seems as if my idea is going to work. So I'm going to go down here, I'm going to reach down, and I should be able to pop that little switch cover out if I can find it. I don't know what I'm touching right now. Probably touching like some really important stuff. I see it moving. Oh, woo! Look at that. Okay, well, that's one step done, I guess. I have used one of these buttons before for the ditch lights, so I have an idea how I want this wired. But we want to pay attention here to the wiring diagram for the switch. Now, I've already tapped in for my other switch to illumination, so I may run cabling splice back into where I already spliced in, so I don't have to splice into the Tacoma wiring harness again. Plus, I'm not going to have that much room down in there. So I'm going to try to do it that way so I don't have to cut up the wiring harness even more than what I've already done. But we'll see what we can do. All right, guys, so here's my new and updated strategy. I ran the power up through here. So it came down from up there. Whoop, 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 and I fed it this way. So we have the button, right? Now all we need to do is feed it down there. So I'm going to go ahead and wire this in. So this is for the button. So we're going to cut this here. Wire this in, feed out the button, or feed out this wire out the buttonhole, plug this in, pop, feed the button in. And that should be good to go. Now the only problem I'm gonna have here is illumination. Now I want it to illuminate correctly, so I turn my lights on, it's gonna light up blue. When I click it, it'll be darker blue. Now I did that on the button over there, but the problem is I'm not gonna be able to splice it in to anything down here because I can't reach it. So my idea is to run really long cables or wires back up this way and splice back into where I spliced in to illumination last time. I think that's gonna work. It seems a little shoddy, a little rigged up, but I think on paper it's working in my head. So we'll see, we'll dive into this. At worst case scenario, it's not like I'm cutting into my wiring harness again, so that's a plus. Now, before I start cutting anything, I'm going to go ahead and take the fuse out. We are back, it is the next day, guys. I am cold. It's a lot colder today, but if you look here, okay, so this is illumination for the bed lights. This illuminates that switch. We are tied in right there. It looks scary, I know, but if you're curious, the green wire that comes off this switch here is illumination. We're gonna go to the other side and test that out. I'm gonna take the keys and plug them in. You know, this is the moment of truth. Everything should work. It should light up with illumination and turn dark blue when I hit the button. See, now the button is off. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the light switch here. If you look here now, the light is on for illumination. Don't want to let anything touch there. And then when I go ahead and click it, it gets dark blue, indicating that they're on. Okay, so now the test is done. I'm gonna go ahead and actually wire this up. Guys, we did it. So I got everything kind of buttoned up, everything wired appropriately. So now, right, for example, when the truck is off, you can hit this and turn it on, okay? And it lights up blue. So the truck is off completely. You can shut it off. Now, if we go ahead and I find my keys here. All right. Keys, no lights, button's not on, right? I'm gonna go ahead and flick on my, you know, my night lights, my headlights. Flick that on and we look and it lights up blue. So you can see, you know, where the button's at. But then when you click it, it lights up more blue to indicate that it's on. Very similar to how that one is for the ditch lights. Very happy with that. I like it. Looks OEM. Probably about 100 other ways to do that right. I probably did everything wrong, but I kind of wanted to show you guys that process. And that is the button fully installed in a little lower switch panel down there. Big fan of that. I hope that install video helped anybody out there who doesn't know how to install one of these. I know my wiring methods are a bit odd. It's fine. I'm not an official electrician, so it's fine. It works for me. I got those buttons to light up how I wanted it to, so I'm happy about that. The light turns on. It looks good. Everything's kind of buttoned up the way I want it to be. So if that kind of gives you an idea of how to wire up one in your truck, leave a like, hit that subscribe. I hope it helped you guys. And do me a big favor and check out this video right here. It's pretty good, and I'll see you guys in the next one.